Back to back, huh? Sorry about that, but we gotta talk about this, okay? Like, we really need to talk about this. I wanted to make a video about this yesterday. I was too tired to actually do it, so I apologize. I also wasn't feeling the greatest last night either. I just wasn't feeling great yesterday at all, to be fair. But I'm feeling decent enough at the current moment to talk about this. So, I'm not even going to read chat. I'm not going to put anything in the fucking background, okay? We're just going to fucking talk about this shit. And this is going to be like some raw-ass conversation, okay? And I mean that as in like, you just got married after like not having sex for like 5 years to like the love of your life. So, needless to say, I ain't holding anything fucking back during this conversation. So if you disagree with me at all, good for you, I guess. I really don't give a shit what your opinion is, because I don't want to say opinions are wrong, but if you support the other side of this, then you're just wrong, and there's actually something wrong with you. So, I'm not going to ask for likes, I'm not going to ask you to fucking subscribe or anything. We're literally just going to talk about this, okay? So, fuck it, let's just get into it. For those of you that don't know me, you probably don't. My name is TheTrueAura. I've been making content for 12 years here on YouTube, and I have been making content on Twitch for about 10 years, I think, maybe 9 years. I don't know. I don't support them anymore. So, and I've been on Kick for like, I don't know, 5 months or so. I'll talk about that later, because people are going to be like, you know, you don't support Twitch, but you support Kick or whatever. So I'll talk about that in a minute. So if you don't live under a fucking rock, you probably have been keeping up with the whole TwitchCon thing that happened this year. To be fair, shit like this happens every fucking year. Well, fuck it, we're going to talk about it anyways. So, in case you don't know, the content creator known as Emiru, you probably know who she is. She was forced to do a meet and greet at TwitchCon 2025, which was like 2 days ago or so, or yesterday. You know, recently. And she was forced to do a meet and greet if she wanted to do like her show or whatever was going on. Aside from that, the Twitch also banned her security guard the year prior because the security guard did his job, you know? So that's already fucked up as it is. But, you know, so basically she was doing this meet and greet that she was forced to do, and security was not good this year whatsoever. People were just skipping lines. People were just getting in. Some people didn't even have like bracelets and shit. One guy even showed a video of him just like going up into lines that he has no right to be in, just to show how bad it is, essentially. And during her meet and greet, someone skipped the entire line, bypassed security and everything, and basically walked up to her and assaulted her, essentially, which is fucked up, needless to say. Stuff like this does happen basically every year at TwitchCon, to be honest, and it happens to men too. Last year, 2 men got sexually assaulted by women, and Twitch didn't even bat an eye at that at all. They did not give a shit, and they came out with a statement for the emiru situation, being like, oh, we take our security seriously, and the person was fucking like banned from the premises, never allowed back, and you know, like law enforcement was like on site and all this and that. And there was a video that came out a couple hours afterwards, and literally showed the guy walking around like the area on the outside of TwitchCon, basically meaning Twitch fucking absolutely lied, just because they don't want this. Right? They know they're going to get lawsuited and shit right now. So, needless to say, Twitch is very fucked up. Okay? Earlier this year, I talked about how I'm leaving Twitch. I don't know if I explained the exact reasons why in detail, but I left Twitch. After using Twitch for like 8 years, you know, I was growing steadily and everything, and I just saw what was going on. I saw what like the CEOs and like all the fucking like the fucking like legal team and everything was talking about in like their posts and stuff. And I was like, dude, I cannot fucking support Twitch anymore. So I stopped using Twitch. I went over to Kick. Again, I'll talk about that towards the end of this. But at the end of the fucking day, Twitch is fucked up. Okay, they lie through their fucking they lie with a smile on their face. essentially, right? Because they don't want part of the drama, and they refuse to acknowledge it half the time on what happens. And their legal team doesn't give a fuck, okay? And Twitch doesn't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about fucking content creators. All they want is fucking money, okay? That's all they fucking care about, is your money, okay? So, with that all being said, please, for the love of fucking God, stop supporting Twitch, okay? If you're using Twitch right now, stop using it, okay? Like, delete your fucking account type shit, alright? Stop fucking supporting it. Content creators over on Twitch that make, like, millions a year, they don't really have that opportunity, unless they bring all their fan base over to, like, YouTube and stuff like that, but obviously that'll take some time. So, content creators over on Twitch, they can't exactly just leave Twitch, right? Because they wouldn't be able to support themselves financially right away. Plus all the, contracts and all that stuff. But I am not a Twitch partner. I'm not a Twitch affiliate or anything. I'm not bound by contract whatsoever. So I can say whatever the fuck I want to say. And I'm saying the things that people want to say. People want to say this shit. But they can't, right? All they can tell you is stop supporting Twitch. They're not going to go into, like, the nitty-gritty of everything because they can't. In fact, most of them can't even tell you to stop using Twitch because they're bound by contract. Like, they're sponsored by Twitch. They can't say shit like that. But we're all thinking it. We're all feeling the same fucking way right now. And I swear to God, if I see anyone supporting Twitch, being like, oh, it's not their fault, or all that fucking, like, bullshit, I swear to God I'm going to lose my fucking mind, okay? Honestly. Stop supporting Twitch. Stop using Twitch. Stop watching your content creators on Twitch. Yes, they need your money. I understand that. I support content creators no matter what. I've been making content for 12 fucking years. I see everything that happens, okay? Like, I support these people that make content. But, like, they should not be on Twitch anymore. You should not be on Twitch anymore, okay? Full on, like, delete your account. Stop using it. I'm not going to go into extreme detail, but I will leave 2 videos in the description. Because I rather you go over to her video instead, where she talks about everything that happened, just because I don't want to say it for her, but I want you to go over that video, fucking watch that. I already watched it, I kept up with everything. So basically, she's going to do her best, and I think she's going to succeed, and everyone is backing her up on this. But she's going to sue Twitch, like, just absolutely 100%, and I don't blame her. No one fucking blames her right now, and everyone's on board for that. And, if you're a content creator on Twitch, I honestly recommend you do the same thing, honestly. And you might be wondering, like, oh, how is this really that bad, right? If nothing, like, super serious. I mean, this is serious, but, like, there was no violence or anything involved. No one was hurt physically. Definitely mentally, there's some mental scarring going on for sure. Especially for the, people that go to TwitchCon. Again, this happens to the men too. Don't get it twisted, okay? This happens to men and women every single year. Every year. And they keep saying, oh, security is top priority. We support our creators. Yet they force people into these situations that they don't even want to do. And I think the craziest part is, right, a lot of the content creators this year were all in agreement that, like, the vibes were off about TwitchCon. Like, something just did not feel right. And everyone kept telling everyone else, being like, hey, don't go this year. And if you do, just be careful. But I recommend that you don't go. And I genuinely don't know what the consensus was about that. Maybe it was, like, within the contracts that they were sent out for TwitchCon or something like that. But all the content creators were in agreement that, like, this year something just did not feel right. And that is just, like, trust your instincts type of shit right there. But here's the way I think about it, right? So, again, no one was hurt physically, but that doesn't mean that it couldn't have happened, right? Like, someone just walked up to her, bypassed security, bypassed the line. What happened if they had a knife? Or, like, a gun? Or even, like, a syringe or something with some sort of, like, chemical in it to just, like, kill you in, like, 10 minutes, What would have happened then? What would have happened then? Would they have said anything about it? Would they have been like, oh, we're so sorry for the inconvenience? These are the possibilities that could have happened. And they allowed this shit to happen. A billion-dollar company allowed this shit to happen. Okay? And if you want to keep supporting them, that is a fucked up decision on your part. I'm going to be fucking honest, okay? That's some fucked up shit. If you're supporting shit like that happening, okay? And that's just what we see on camera, right? What happens to the people we don't see on camera? You know, the smaller creators. What happens to them? You know? What happens if they, like, go to the washroom or something without, like, their friends being around? What happens then? There's no evidence of it happening, but what happens? What do you think happens? Or what do you think happens when people go to, like, after parties and shit without, like, having security guards and whatnot? You know? It's some fucked up shit, guys, okay? It's super fucked up that they even allow this to happen, right? But it's more about the possibilities of where this can lead to and the things we don't even know about yet, you know? I'm sure there is way more creators, big or small, that have had that situation happen a couple days ago, you know, either be at TwitchCon or after parties or even just going to their car in the parking lot, you know? People fucking stalk them. People will drug them. People will fucking kidnap you, dude. People will fucking kidnap you. People will just kill you outright. You know? Like, it's a fucked up situation that they're allowing people to fucking get away with. It is super fucked up. It really is. And you can say the argument of, oh, we don't know if anyone's, like, been died or has been kidnapped or, you know, all this and that or whatever. But that doesn't mean it doesn't happen, right? There's so much shit in the fucking world 24/7 that you do not see, okay? You can find it, don't get me wrong. If you go fucking deep enough on the internet, you can see a lot of this shit happen. You don't want to. Trust me. Please don't fucking... Do not look for that shit, okay? Trust me, it will fucking scar you for life. You will hate yourself forever if you stumble across, you know, videos and topics like that. Just don't fucking look for it. But it happens. All across the world, every country, every city, every town, shit like this is happening. And you don't see it. You don't hear about it. Half the time, there's not even, like, no one recorded it. Because they were alone. You know? Like... Worst case fucking scenario, you go to an event like this as a big content creator, even if you have a security guard or something, right? And there's one person or multiple people that know who you are, and they don't care about, like, your personal space, your boundaries, and all that shit, right? So just picture this, right? You're like a big content creator, you know, you're famous, you have millions of dollars, right? And people are wanting to be around you, to be with you, to get with you, I guess, if you want to say that. So let's just say you're at an event, right? Everything goes well. You know, you're not really checking your surroundings or anything, but just picture, like, just one dude just stalking you the entire event, and you have no idea, right? You leave, you're laughing, you're smiling, you're having a good time, you go into your car. This person also goes to their car. Now they know what car you're in. Now they know your license plate. And now they're trailing behind you to see where you go, right? If you go directly to your house after that, now they know where you live. What happens after that? More times often than not, they break into your fucking house when you're sleeping. You know? It happens to people, okay? It fucking happens. We need to not support shit like this at all, okay? And now, you may be thinking to yourself, oh, but you use Kick, and Kick is no better. Or shit on YouTube has happened before. And yes, that is true. You know? There has been literally videos of people dying on YouTube. Just like murders and whatnot. Like shit like that used to be able just to be shown to anyone, even children, just back in the day. You know? They're very good at hiding that kind of stuff now. You know? They're very good at deleting and banning those people. And also getting, you know, like law enforcement involved into situations like that. And I think the argument for Kick, you know, some streamers have, like, died doing challenges and stuff, or people, I probably have had, like, sex on camera, even though that is not the purpose of that, and there's literally contracts telling you not to do shit like that, but they do it anyways. Honestly, I don't think that's Kick's fault necessarily that that's happening, because they definitely don't support it. whatsoever. Those people get banned fucking immediately, and they're never allowed back on. Unlike Twitch. Twitch will give you like a warning, and then they'll like ban you for like a month, and then you can come back and do it again, essentially. Twitch doesn't fucking give a shit at all. But I don't think it's Kick's fault. I just think it's the fact that they don't have enough like security involved with their program because like they're relatively new. I need to read up more about like what the CEO and like how he responds to everything to really make a proper opinion on that. But I feel like they fall into the similar boat as YouTube. Like shit does get posted. Not everyone wears a halo type of thing, right? You don't have control over that. But you do have control on how you respond to that, So, yeah, I mean, like, again, I don't want to go into details about the whole situation. Like I said, I'll leave the video in the description so you can, watch it yourself and see what she's, how she reacted to it, what she's going to do about it, everything, thoughts and feelings and all that stuff about it. Because that's not really my place to really talk about that. But at the same time, I'm not bound by contract with Twitch, unlike Asmongold or like Moist Critical and whatnot, They ain't gonna say shit like I am right now. They're thinking it, and they're like kind of like pointing to the idea of it, but legally they can't say stuff that I am saying right now, so at the end of the fucking day, don't support companies like this, okay? Fucking do your research. Read up on posts and stuff. Literally after this situation happened, they started promoting TwitchCon on like their fucking Twitter and shit. I know the person running their like Twitter or X, I guess, doesn't necessarily like, they're not at every event and stuff, I guess, but at the same time, whoever's running their accounts should also be keeping up with what people are talking about. And you promoting Twitch literally after that situation happened is just kind of fucked up, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to say it's, the person that makes the content's fault that happened, but it's 100% their fault for not even keeping up with everyone's conversations about Twitch right now. Because they're trying to hide the fact. They're trying to bury it. They didn't even want to say her name at first just so, it wouldn't pop up on Google and, like, search engines. Because they know if that happens, people are just going to be spamming the fuck out of it. And they know that their legal team is going to stumble across that. Their legal team already knows, but they're trying to defend it. I think that's even more fucked up, is the fact that they're trying to fucking defend this shit. I don't give a fuck if you're like a $50 billion company, okay? I don't give a fuck. If you deserve to be lawsuited, you deserve to be lawsuited. Fucking, like, don't defend yourself when you have no right to. Like, honest to God. It just makes you look even fucking worse. It really does. But, again, what has happened already. There's nothing anyone can do about that. Shit like this happens every year. There's nothing we can do about that. But everyone is in agreement that we need to stop supporting Twitch. Okay, Twitch needs to fucking die. They need to learn a fucking lesson. They need to be lawsuited. They need to be brought to fucking court. Every content creator needs to get on fucking board with this. If they're bound by contract, they need to get on board with this, right? Make it like a class action fucking lawsuit where everyone gets fucking involved in this. I don't care about the money. All right, if I could be part of it, sure, but I don't care about the money. I don't want fucking money. I don't want fucking whatever the fuck we would get out of the lawsuit. I just want, like, just legal action to be taken in this situation. And I, honestly, with the 12 years I've been making content, I wish legal action would have been taken a lot sooner. Okay? People have tried to lawsuit them before, and they lost just because their legal team is a lot better than yours. Right? They have billions of dollars. They're not going to give up without a fight type of shit, right? But if you have the evidence of what has happened, if you have other creators involved that witness this, you have, like, transcripts of fucking, like, calls and shit, they're not going to win. In a court of law, they're not going to fucking win, okay? And they don't deserve to win. They don't. Again, they don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about their fans. They don't care about their content creators. They don't care about anything else other than money. As soon as they start losing money, they're like, oh no, we have to do something to fix that. But, just really just stop supporting Twitch. I don't know what else I could fucking say about it, but just stop fucking supporting them, okay? For the love of God. If you have their apps installed, fucking delete them. Give a 1-star review. I literally just did that. I literally just changed my review. 1-star review. Fucking talked about the situation that happened, being like they don't care about you. Like, just literally stop supporting them. If you have content creators on there, just sort of like support them, being like, if you come over to like YouTube, we'll be there for you. If you go to like another platform, we'll be there for you. Or if you have like a Patreon, we will give you money on there rather than like send you Twitch donations and subscribe on Twitch and stuff like that, right? There's options as fans and as content creators. It's just a very shitty fucking situation that a lot of these content creators, they can't just walk away from Twitch, right? Some of them can't. Some of them, have been building audiences on YouTube and stuff like that. But a lot of these people are full-time on Twitch, like 50, 60 hours a week or more, creating content on Twitch to pay their bills, to fucking pay their fucking, like, legal teams, to pay their fucking, like, editors and all that shit, right? They can't just walk away from that, necessarily. But as soon as they're given the opportunity to, they absolutely need to. 100%, without a doubt. And this is also a great opportunity for literally anyone. If I knew how to, I literally would start doing it right now. But this is a great opportunity for literally anyone to create a platform like Twitch, but to do it better, essentially. Kick kind of already did that. People are probably going to be coming over to Kick now. Again, Kick is kind of like on thin ice with a lot of people just based on a lot of the shit that happened with them over the past like year or two. Again, I don't necessarily think it's their fault that people are posting what they are, and they don't support it either. And again, they take action on shit like this when it does happen, unlike Twitch. Again, Twitch will just ban you for like 30 days and be like, you can do it again, that's fine. Oh, you did it again? Cool. Ban you for 6 months. No, ban them for life, my dude. Seriously. But if you're someone that knows how to like make platforms and stuff like that, this is such an opportunity for you to be the next multi-billion-dollar streaming platform for content creators. You're gonna have to compete with YouTube and Kick and all the other ones, but now's your opportunity to just do better than Kick, or sorry, to do better than Twitch rather, because they're dying and it needs to die. It needs to be buried. They don't deserve to come back from this. They don't deserve any support from this. And more importantly, they don't deserve to even be fighting against what is happening right now. So, again, my name is TheTrueAura. I've been making content for 12 years here on YouTube, and I've been making content for like 10 years over on Twitch. But, again, I'm not supporting Twitch, and I stopped supporting Twitch this year just based off a lot of the shit I was seeing. And I literally just stopped using it, even though I was getting steady growth. I was literally about to hit like a Twitch partner. I was about to start being able to get paid on Twitch. And I stopped without even telling anyone on Twitch about it. All my Twitch fans, they have no idea that I just stopped. I mean, they've realized I haven't posted in months, but I literally just stopped. I woke up one day, logged out, never went back in again. And I won't go back again, ever. Just straight up, I'm not going to go back. I don't even care if they're like funded by Amazon and Jeff Bezos, right? Even more billions of fucking dollars involved into their whole operations. I'm not even going to support them on that either, okay? I don't think Jeff Bezos should support them on that either, as well. Get rid of fucking Twitch Prime subs and shit, fucking just... I don't know. There's not much else I can really say without going into details about the situation itself. Again, not my place to do that. I'll leave the video in the comment section once this video is done, so you can watch the video yourself to see her thoughts and opinions on it, and genuinely the person that was the victim. I don't have any right to really step on those toes at all to get involved with that, but I can't, however, say that you shouldn't be supporting Twitch anymore, okay? And we should have stopped supporting Twitch like 8 years ago. Just straight up. We should not have let it get this far, okay? And I am sorry to emiru and every other content creator that has been assaulted, sexually assaulted, verbally assaulted, you know, whatever it may be. I feel bad for every single content creator involved in that. I feel bad for every single fan that went there just for a good time, and they had that shit happen to them. I feel bad that everyone that has been fucking stalked from these events. I feel bad for everyone that has probably fucking died because of this events. It may not happen on site, but that doesn't mean it can happen 30, 60, 90 days down the line once they know where you live, right? You know? Shit like this fucking happens. I feel bad for everyone that goes to, like, after parties and shit, and they get, like, fucking drugged up, you know? I feel bad for every single victim involved for the past, like, 10 years, okay? I feel bad for every single one of them. And if I could shut them down right now, I would. But I don't have the authority to do that or the money to do that. And, you know, I just wish there was more I could do for all the victims involved. You know, so as fans and as content creators, I think we all realistically need to band together. You know, we need to support all the victims. And, you know, if you have some money to give them, you know, maybe do that. The top creators don't really need your money. They have a fucking multi-million dollars anyways. So that won't really help too much, but if they have, like, P.O. boxes or something, you know, send them letters, being like, you know, like, I'm so sorry, or like, you know, I support you, you know, just show them that they're not alone, okay? But the internet can be a brutal fucking place, like 99% of the fucking time, okay, let's just be honest, you know? And not everyone in life has a fucking halo, you know? Not everyone has your best intentions in mind. In fact, most people don't have your best intentions in mind at all. Doesn't matter where you are or what you're doing. Even most of the employers don't have your best interest in mind, right? Like, if you're, like, absolutely sick and, like, almost fucking dying, they're probably still gonna fire you anyways, because you didn't come into work for, like, a week, you know? Because they don't care about you. They care about what you can do. And after you can't do what you're supposed to do, they don't like you anymore. And that's kind of just, like, the way the world works, and I think it's just super fucked up, you know? And, like, I've seen a lot of this shit throughout my life, throughout my 25 years of existence on this fucking hellscape we call Earth. Mind you, it's a beautiful planet that we live on and whatnot, but I've seen so many bad things throughout my entire life, right? Like, there's so many stories that I've never told you guys just because I don't feel comfortable talking about it. But, like, since, like, I'm pretty sure first grade of school, you know, people were getting fucking bullied. Like, I'm not talking, like, kindergarten or whatever, but, like, grade 1. You know, people were getting, like, fucking bullied and shit. Like, bro, y'all aren't even, like, I don't even know how old you are in grade 1, to be honest. But, like, dude, like, these kids don't even know how to, like, tell the time yet. And they're fucking going out, like, crying themselves to fucking sleep and shit. Or, like, literally cutting themselves, because that's all they know how to do. You know? And fucking people support that shit. You know? Instead of banning students that do that. You know? Or getting, like, people, you know, higher up people involved with these parents that are allowing these kids to do that. You know? I've seen multiple people literally fucking kill themselves because of shit they had to deal with that no one should have to deal with ever, just period. You know? And they had to take their own fucking lives because they didn't have a better way to deal with their problem, right? And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, you know, I've had my fair share of, you know, suicidal thoughts back in the day. I beat depression, or not beat depression because you can't beat depression, but I overcame depression back in 2021, I think. So like 4 years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, somewhere around there, during COVID. Hold on, give me a second. But yeah, you know, I struggled myself too. You know, I've had several attempts as well. And I don't know what happened throughout the years, but I don't know. I dealt with depression for literally 8 years. You know, anxiety, fucking being abused mentally and physically. You know, all of that shit. Never having people really give a fuck about me. They just fucking used me and shit. You know, I've dealt with those situations myself. You know, I've even been fucking kidnapped when I was like 12. You know, I don't talk about it because I don't like to think about it, but it did happen. Luckily, I did escape when I was still on the road, so that's good. Nothing actually did happen. I won't talk about that story, though, because I don't like to talk about it at all, but, you know, I understand how these people feel. You know, I've had several friends that I saved from suicide. You know, I convinced them not to. And the older I get, the more I'm kind of like feeling as if like, I don't want to say I was wrong for doing that necessarily. I mean, like, you know, it's better that you don't kill yourself. But like, who the fuck am I to be like, don't do this even though you want to? You know, like if that's your ultimate decision and you have made your mind up, who am I to try and fucking stop you? You know, I wasn't thinking like that when I would save these people from literally killing themselves. I would just be like, oh, I don't want to lose you, and you have so much to live for, and you're so young. But the older I'm getting, I'm realizing, like, dude, they might have been better off. Now they have to deal with all the bullshit that everyone else has to deal with. And they probably don't even want to. You know? I'm, like, sure some of them are happy nowadays, but some of them aren't. Some of them probably have killed themselves afterwards, you know, like 5, 6 years afterwards, but just, like, you know, the world's fucked. People are fucked up, okay? You know, trust your instincts and whatnot. Not much else I can really say about it. I wish the world wasn't the way it was. And, yeah, that's part of the reason why I was on the train to, not be here anymore either. Not because of all the shit I was dealing with, but just because I didn't want to see shit that was happening, all the bad shit that was happening. You know? Like, I just didn't want to see it anymore. I don't want to be compared to these people. You know? We're all human. We're all on the same fucking planet. I don't want to be compared to these people, though. All these fucking, like, murderers and rapists and all that shit. I don't want to be compared to them. Even though we're the same fucking species. I don't want to be compared to these people at all. Right? And I don't think any of us do, realistically. But, again, you know, it's just a fucked up situation. Life's fucked. Protect yourselves. Take care of yourselves. You know? I'm all board for, like, self-defense and shit like that. Because I've been in, you know, my fair share of situations where it was either I defend myself or I die, essentially, you know? Sometimes you just have to, right? And Canada's kind of against defending yourself for whatever fucking reason. I don't know why. They need to get rid of that, because why aren't we allowed to defend ourselves? You know? Like, if someone has a gun pointed to your fucking head, why can't we just take that gun from them and shoot them instead? You know? Or, like, stab them in the fucking chest. You know? Like, why are we not allowed to defend ourselves when someone is trying to, like, take our lives? Or break into our homes and shit? Or, like, you know, kill someone that lives with us? You know, it's just fucked up that we're not allowed to defend ourselves half the time. You know, I don't understand that. So, again, you know, I'm a nice person at the end of the day. You know, I would never hurt an innocent person whatsoever. But at the same time, I do believe some people just do deserve to be hurt one way or another, mentally, physically, whatever it may be. You know, there are monsters, there are demons, and I don't think they deserve to be treated the same way as everyone else does. Not to say all of them have control over it. You know, some of them went literally psychotic, and they sometimes don't have control over that. Maybe they were, like, abused too much, and they literally lost control of their mind, essentially. Like, that, literally in, like, a court of law, that's technically not their fault, you know? But I don't know. I don't get why we bring these people to jail and then we let them out, like, 10, 20 years later, just for them to fucking do it again. I don't get that. I don't get that at all. Punishment deserves to be done to people. that deserve punishment, you know? Like, if shit needs to be taken care of, you should be allowed to take care of it, you know? And that's coming from a nice guy, man. I don't even like to kill spiders half the time. I hate fucking spiders, dude. But sometimes I just genuinely feel bad when I squish one, you know? Like, I'm a kind-hearted guy at the end of the day. But if you need to defend yourself, you know, or, like, legal action needs to be taken, or, you know, whatever it may be, you should be allowed to do that, okay? So, that's where I stand on everything, just with life in a nutshell, you know? And, yeah, that's really all I can, mention, without going into details about anything and talking about stories that I'd rather not talk about. But, again, you know, please support your favorite creators during situations like this if they are using Twitch, you know? Like I said, send them messages, send them DMs. They may not read it, but just show them that you care, you know? Help these creators know that they're not alone, because they may be making millions of dollars, but a lot of them don't feel like they have an actual connection with people half the time. So, you know, just support them. If they have a P.O. box, support them. If they have a Patreon, support them on there, you know. But don't support Twitch. And if you have content creators on Twitch that you support, then just straight up just tell them, like, hey, you know, I will follow you off of Twitch if you go somewhere else. You know, just let them know that. Just re-encourage them that, like, their fans will follow them to whatever platform they go to, okay? Because a lot of content creators, they just won't think like that. They're like, this is all I have. You know, this pays my bills. This buys me food. If I leave here, I'll have nothing, you know? So just support them. If you're a small content creator, support them too. And support yourself as well, obviously. But, you know, we just, as a community, and as, genuinely as a community, we just need to band together in a situation like this, right? We all need to just scream the same fucking thing over and over and over, all together, you know? We all need to be sending, like, fucking letters to Twitch being like, what the fuck, guys? Like, why would you allow this to happen? And I don't want to say they encouraged it, but again, you know, they forced some content creators into these positions where shit like this happens. So, you know, stop supporting them and support your favorite creators in their time of need right now, because shit like this is fucked up, guys. Again, this has been happening multiple years. Literally every single year this happens. But we need to not allow it to happen for another fucking year. Right? If this happens again next year, if they aren't out of business by then, I am going to be, like, beyond furious with the entire world as a whole, honestly. If we just allow this shit to happen one more fucking time. Because we shouldn't. Honestly. We don't have as much control over it as they do. But we should not allow this to happen at all. No one should even show up. People should get refunds. You know? Shit like that. Fucking put them out of business, dude. They don't deserve to be around anymore. Anyway, I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. And, you know, say some things that the bigger content creators cannot talk about. You know, just because they literally can't. They're bound by contract, you know. There's certain things that they just cannot say. I'm not bound by contract. And if I get banned or whatever, so fucking be it, okay? I proved my fucking point at least. Right? But don't try to silence me for not supporting them. You know? If I get silenced, then that's a whole different fucking conversation. But at the end of the day, don't support Twitch anymore. They don't deserve it. And support your favorite creators. And just, you know, reassure them that wherever they go, you'll follow them to whatever platform they decide to go to. Okay? So, yeah, that's going to be it for me. Sorry for the long fucking rant, but someone had to say the shit that no one else is willing to fucking say, so. And if you don't agree with me, that's your problem, I guess. I don't care if you agree with me or not, okay? But if you don't agree with me, there's a problem with you. Just honest to God, right? You know? So, anyway, that's all I can really talk about without getting into too many details here. Again, I will leave her video in the description, not the description, but in the comment section, so you can see, you know, how she's going to go about it, you know, the whole like lawsuit that she's going to do and everything like that. And yeah, I was going to post like Asmongold and Moist Critical's videos in there as well, but you guys probably already watched those already. So again, just show support for everyone involved. And if any more news comes up of other content creators that were in similar situations that we start hearing about, because now's the time to start talking about it, and then I'll make another video about that too, once we start learning about other victims, essentially. So, yeah. And again, you know, this happens to men and women both. Okay, so don't get that twisted. Like I said, last year, 2 men were sexually assaulted at TwitchCon 2024, right? And Twitch did not give a shit at all. They didn't even acknowledge the fact that it happened. And I think one of them didn't happen on camera. I could be wrong. I think both of them did happen on camera, though, but again, I could be wrong. But, you know, this isn't a case of, oh, woman was assaulted. No. It's the fact that a company allows this to happen every year at their conventions for any type of gender. You know, these situations happen and they just allow it to happen. And, uninstall Twitch, delete your account, and over to YouTube. Or Kick, I guess, but like I said, Kick is kind of thin ice with a lot of people, so, you know, don't bother subscribing to me or dropping a like or anything like that. You know, support the creators involved, you know, all the victims and stuff. Just show that you care, kind of like I'm doing, just kind of like bringing more light to the fact, and, you know, sharing my thoughts on the situation. And yeah, that's really all I got to talk about. And